Ladies and gentlemen, imagine a sports car so tiny it could park inside your average SUV and still leave room for groceries. A car so light you could probably tow it with a bicycle, and yet it once beat Ferraris on the track. Meet the Berkeley SE492 Twosome, the little British two-stroke screamer that proved you don't need cubic inches to have fun, just courage, optimism, and maybe a good chiropractor. Before we pop the bonnet on this fiberglass missile, do us a favor and subscribe to Cool Ideas, where the cars are small, the stories are big, and the horsepower is more of a suggestion than a specification. If you love microcars, mad geniuses, or anything that looks like a 1950s bathtub with headlights, you're in the right place. The Berkeley SE492 Twosome began life in post-war England at a time when petrol was expensive, steel was expensive, and dreams were still legal. Berkeley Cars Ltd of Biggleswade, Bedfordshire, was originally a caravan company, which helps explain why their cars were about the same size as a camper's glove box. In 1956, company founder Charles Panter teamed up with engineer and three-wheeled troublemaker Lawrie Bond. Bond had previously designed the infamous Bond minicar, a machine that asked, what if a motorcycle had a midlife crisis? Together, they launched a new company with a mission: build a car that was cheap, stylish, fun, and good enough to win 750 cubic centimeter races. No pressure. Drawing on their experience with fiberglass from caravan building, they created the first model in 1956, the SA322. Then came the SE328 in 1957, a bit more refined and a little faster. But the pièce de résistance landed later that year, the SE492. 3 cylinders, a racy new body, and crucially a new name by 1958, the Twosome, to distinguish it from the upcoming Foursome, because Berkeley clearly believed naming cars was like choosing beds at IKEA. From late 1957 to March 1959, just 666 SE492s were built, a number that's either ominous or perfectly British in its dry humour. Congratulations, you've bought the devil's microcar. Most of them were exported to the United States and Europe, where they were marketed as exotic budget sports cars. Think Aston Martin Dreams on a Vespa budget. Today, only a few hundred Berkeleys of all types are thought to survive worldwide, making the SE492 a rare sight even at classic car shows. Don't let the SE492's size fool you. This thing was a masterclass in lightweight innovation. At just under 710 pounds, about 320 kilograms, it weighed less than my neighbour Bob's conspiracy theories. This was thanks to its 3-piece monocoque body made from aluminium and fiberglass. No traditional steel chassis here. The construction was so minimal it consisted of just a molded fiberglass floorpan punt and front-rear clamshells. The whole car felt more like a model airplane than a road vehicle. At the heart of the SE492 was a 492 cubic centimetre air-cooled 2-stroke 3-cylinder Excelsior engine. Yes, 3 cylinders, in a motorcycle-derived power plant, arranged transversely up front. It made around 30 horsepower at 4,200 revolutions per minute, which sounds laughable until you remember the whole car weighed about the same as a large dog. The engine drove the front wheels through a 4-speed sequential gearbox, and that front-engine, front-wheel drive layout was cutting edge in 1957, 2 years before the Mini made it cool. Underneath, the SE492 sported 4-wheel independent suspension with coil springs, high-tech stuff for a car that looked like a fiberglass soap dish. Braking was handled by 7-inch Girling drums all around, and the 12-inch wheels rode on skinny tires that made you question every corner. Size-wise, the SE492 was just about 10 feet long, or 3.5 meters, and roughly 4 feet 2 inches wide, or 1.27 meters, with a wheelbase of around 70 inches, 1.78 meters. It was barely enough to fit 2 passengers, a spare tire, and a healthy disrespect for traffic laws. Performance? Surprisingly brisk. Thanks to its featherweight body, the SE492 could hit about 80 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour, faster than most microcars of its day, and probably fast enough to terrify your dentist. Fuel economy was equally impressive, with estimates ranging from 40 miles per imperial gallon. In other words, you could race and still afford fish and chips on the way home. Inside, things were minimal. Think speedometer, tachometer, amp gauge, fuel gauge, and a wood rim motoliter steering wheel if you were lucky. Behind the seats was a small luggage area with a tonneau cover, which in true Berkeley fashion was jokingly advertised as a child's seat, because strapping your kid next to a two-stroke exhaust is always a good idea. And yet, despite all its quirks, the SE492 felt purposeful. The body was aerodynamic, the weight distribution was nimble, and the front drive layout gave it predictable handling. It was quick on twisty roads, fun on a track, and guaranteed to draw a crowd, even if most people mistook it for a toy or a UFO escape pod. By 1958, Berkeley tweaked the design, swapping the forward slanting doors for vertical ones with hidden hinges. The hardtop never made production, though a few prototypes exist, and yet the open roadster version had charm by the bucket load. Its main rival in philosophy, if not form, was the Goggo-Mobile Dart from Australia, or perhaps the Fiat 500-based microcars of Europe. But where those focused on cute and practical, the Berkeley shouted, "I'm tiny and furious!" Racing-wise, it punched far above its weight. Count Giovanni Lurani entered hardtop SE492s in the 1958 Monza 12 Hours, with Lorenzo Bandini winning the 750 cubic centimetre GT class in one of them. This car wasn't just adorable, it was ambitious. The Berkeley SE492 Twosome is one of those rare cars that make you grin before you even start it. It's tiny, it's noisy, it's absurd, and it's absolutely brilliant. It represents a golden era of British inventiveness, when anyone with a shed and a crazy idea could make a sports car that might just outrun a Ferrari in the right hands, or at least pass it while it's parked. And now, the price of fun period pricing for the Berkeley line ran from £574 for the SE338 in 1957 to about £700 for the four-seat foursome announced in 1958, with the SE492 Twosome sitting between them for everyday enthusiasts with sports car dreams and small wallets. Fast forward to today, and things have changed. The most expensive known sale? That would be the $35,200, fetched at R.M. Sotheby's Shift Motorsports of Monterey auction in August 2020. Another brought in $27,000 at a Bring a Trailer auction in 2022. To our amazing channel sponsors, you legends who clicked join and keep the lights on over here at Cool Ideas, thank you. You are the fiberglass monocoque to our crazy little engine. And to everyone else, may your two-stroke dreams be oily, your neighbors less annoying than Bob, and your garage always have room for one more ridiculous car. Go on, subscribe. You know you want to.